This is a SuperTigre GS-40 that was broken in. I ran it and oiled it and set it on the table and didn't put it in a bag, and now it's very gummed up and hard to turn over. And before I run it, it's going to have to be cleaned. It may be rusted, so I'm going to disassemble it and clean it and check it out, and then I'll put it on the test stand if it's still usable. So I'm going to go ahead and record this and see what the condition is, and we'll go from there. Doesn't look rusted, so it's probably just gummed up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the carburetor off. I'm going to go ahead and take the head off. Maybe. I'll try putting a little oil in it. It's the head shim. I'm going to soak the engine in some lacquer thinner. For a few minutes. See if it'll take out some of the gum. Because I don't see any rust. There could be rust on the balls. I have a feeling it's just gum. So I take a quart container and a gallon of regular lacquer thinner that you can get from Home Depot or Lowe's. I'm just going to let that sit in there for probably 5 minutes. If it's gummed up really bad, several hours. The engine was a little bit more gummed up than I thought it was, and I had to let the engine sit in the thinner for several hours, and I oiled it a couple times, so the thinner's got a little bit of a pink tint to it, because what I do is I take it out, I empty the thinner, and before I rotate it, what I do is I let it dry out a little bit. Now I put some oil into the cylinder so it doesn't squirt. Put some oil into the crankshaft. Put some oil down into the bearings. Put a little around the front bearing. And now it's nice and free. All the gum seems to be gone. There doesn't seem to be any friction in the bearings. So all I have to do is reassemble the engine, and then I'll be able to test run it, and hopefully this engine will be back to normal, and I'll be able to put it in a plane and go fly. One thing I didn't mention about when I was cleaning it was that I did not put the carburetor into the thinner, You don't want to put the carburetor into the thinner because the thinner will break down the O-rings and the gaskets. I was able to put the whole engine in there because there's no rubber or anything else that the thinner would break down. If you're soaking in the entire engine, one thing you can do is you can soak the entire engine in fuel. You can use old fuel. You don't want to use fuel that's got a ton of water accumulated in it, but fuel will break down gummed bearing, the gum and bearings as well. I'm going to be doing a few more engines. I may demonstrate using fuel to clean an engine. It takes longer than the lacquer thinner, but it doesn't break down, it doesn't damage O-rings and other parts of an engine because of course they're made to withstand the fuel. So I'm going to reassemble the engine now, and then I'll put it on the test stand and I'll show that in this video and we'll see how it performs. Before I put the carburetor on, I really should have gone ahead and put the head on. With the SuperTigre GS-40, the rear fins are longer than the front fins, so it's real easy. But if you're doing an engine that has a symmetrical head, make sure you note which is the front and which is the rear, because it's best to keep the orientation of the head the same for the lifetime of the engine. And it's questionable as to whether or not it matters, but once you've broken in an engine, there's fit and that kind of thing. So for consistency, it's better for it to be the same. Now, with the typical wrench that comes with an engine, you've got a long end and a short end. It's really better to tighten with the short end because you can't really manually over tighten the bolts. However, once you develop the feel, it's okay to use the long end so you can use all your fingers. Don't strip the head. If you strip the case, you've ruined the engine. On the 4-bolt engine, there's not much of a pattern you go across. With a 6-bolt engine, you use a different pattern for tightening the bolts. This engine has an O-ring on the back plate. glow plug in. Has good compression, spins over, put the prop on. I have to use the front prop washer because the prop's too thin. Tighten the prop on. Let's turn over nice and free. Sounds good. So I'll put the muffler on. We'll be ready to test it.